This tutorial will introduce you to two interactivity tools in Sakai, the Messages tool and the Chat Room tool. First, let's talk about the Messages tool. The Messages tool is designed for you to be able to conveniently send a message to your instructor or fellow students within a course, usually an online or web-enhanced course. The tool does do just that. But the tool does have a couple of deficiencies that we want to make you aware of so that it achieves the goal that you want it to achieve. Let's go ahead and click on the Messages tool now. On this screen we see a couple of things. At the top there are 3 buttons: Compose Message, New Folder, and Settings. There are also 4 links to 4 folders on this page: Received, Sent, Deleted, and Draft. I'd like to start with the top buttons. Let's click on the Settings buttons first, because this is probably the most important thing that you should do first with the Messages tool. In the settings, you will see the option that says Auto Forward Messages with a yes or no selection next to it. We are going to click Yes. Below that, it asks you to input an email address for forwarding. I'm going to enter the email address for this pretend user. Next, I'm going to select the Save Settings button at the bottom. What I've just done is to have any messages that are sent to this user using the Messages tool forward to their Gordon-Conwell email address. The reason I have done this is because the Messages tool has the unfortunate deficiency of not making you aware if you have a new message, like your email or Facebook or whatever applications you may use. We wish the tool would have this functionality, but by forwarding your messages this way, you will guarantee that you will receive anything sent to you. One other note: each course site that you are part of has its own Messages tool if it's enabled by the instructor. You will need to go into each Messages tool and do this same settings change. This fact will be on your Lesson 2 quiz, so make sure you go back and listen to what I just said. Now that I've set the forwarding, let's go to the Compose Message button. This is where you go to send a message in your course site in Sakai. First, there's an area where you select to whom you want to send a message to. If you click on All Participants, it will send to everyone in the course. We ask that you do not do this in this orientation course. The next 2 options are the Access role and Maintain role. You have the ability to send to people in a certain role or access level. In an online or web-enhanced course, you will see the roles Instructor role and Technical Support role. For instance, in the Instructor role are all of the professors and teaching assistants, if applicable, involved in the course. Below the roles are a list of names. Right now there are just a few, but when you have access, you will notice many. You can click on any of the names. But what if I wanted to send a message to more than one person? On your keyboard, hold down the Control button, sometimes abbreviated as CTRL. This allows you to select or deselect multiple people. For now, we are going to send a test message to Douglas Price. Once you have determined who you want to send to, there's a very important box that you need to check. This will be on your quiz as well. Under the box with the list of names is a check box that says send a copy of this message to recipients' email addresses. Because the Messages tool does not have a notification system, it is important to check this box to ensure that the person or people you are sending to receives it. Below the checkbox is a drop-down box that allows you to mark the priority of the message. Most people leave it as normal unless it is an urgent message. Next is the subject box. Enter a subject for your message. Right under that is a large box where you can enter your message. I am going to enter a quick message. Now that I have written my message, I want to briefly mention all of these icons above the area where I've just composed my message. These icons give you the ability to format your message, similar to how you would in a Microsoft Word document. I can change the size, the font of my text, I can bold it, I can italicize it, I can add a link, I can add a table, etc. If you hover your cursor over each item, you can see what it does. You will see the same options in other Sakai tools, such as the Forums tool and the Blogs tool. I am just about ready to send now. If I wanted to add an attachment to the message, I could do that with the Add Attachments button. Like the other tools we've covered, I can either choose a file from my computer, or from the Resources section of my course site, or if I click Show Other Sites, a file from my workspace or another course site. I'm not going to choose to attach anything right now, since you probably get the point. When you're ready to send your message, you have the option to send, preview, save draft, or cancel. The cancel button discards the message and you cannot retrieve it. Save draft allows you to save your message for later without sending. Preview allows you to view the message before sending, while send delivers your message. Let's send the message. Now I am back to the Messages tool home. If I look at the 4 folder links, I can see that there is one received message with one unread and one sent message. First, if I click on the Sent folder, I can see the message I just sent. There are options to mark read, mark unread, delete, and move if I desire. Let's go back to the main screen, and this time, let's click on the Received folder. It looks like I have a new message from this Douglas Price guy. I have the same options once I'm done with the message to mark read, mark unread, etc. If I open the message, I have the option to reply, reply all, and forward, which opens up a new message. That is all for the Messages tool. Now, really quickly, I want to cover the Chat Room tool. Let's go ahead and click on it now. The Chat Room tool can be used a number of different ways in a course. It can be used for live interaction with fellow students and the professor. It can be used for non-live interaction. It can be used for general chit-chat. Regardless, it's super easy to use. There are a couple options at the top that you should be aware of first. For the View drop-down box, I recommend that you keep it set to date and time. For the View Messages From drop-down box, I recommend that you change it to All Messages so that you can see the entire conversation. To post a message to the chat room, enter your desired text in the chat message box below. If you need more space to type, you can use the Resize button in the bottom right-hand corner. Once you are done with your message, you can click the Add Message button if you want to post it, or the Clear button if you want to discard it. Once the message has been posted, it cannot be deleted except by an administrator. This completes the Messages and Chat Room Tools Combined tutorial. If you have any questions on this or any other topic, please email us at charlotteadmissions@gordonconwell.edu.